Okay, we're gonna try this. I'm in Vermont. It's about 22 degrees. I'm in my dad's little backyard shed made of plastic. I think it's a 7x7 shed. I've got the space heater on. It's a small space heater. Uh, I do have a more powerful space heater that works better. But I'm using the small one because the extension cord was overheating. So I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get a better extension cord so it doesn't overheat. Anyway, tomorrow should be better. I'm going to go get another extension cord for a better space heater. As far as you can't tell, but you know, this is not all that comfortable. Okay. Anyways, I'm debating what to nap today because I forgot how to nap. You know, I've been doing other stuff. So, this is a piece of raw stone from my friend Roger. Can't see it, but there it is right there. He marked it for me because he knows that if it's not marked, I forget. Yeah. Let's see. It's an amoeba chert. And it looks like good quality stuff. As long as I don't mess it up. Let me see. Ooh, the bopper's so nice. Oh yes, you can hear snap. It's a nice, healthy snap. It's not a bad snap. Yeah, hear that? I don't know if you can hear it, but it's good. Yeah, I need to get used to napping rocks again. There's already a lot of existing cracks in this one, so it's not going to be straightforward. I'm going to have to work around some of the cracks that are already in here. And believe it or not, I watched some YouTube videos, some napping videos before I started this. Just so I can get up to speed on what everyone is doing. Well, mostly the ones that I was watching are napping in areas that are not cold. There's snow on the ground here, and it's 22 degrees. And I'm napping just on the fly, making doo-doo with what I got. Yeah, it'll be better as time goes on. Tomorrow should be better. I'll learn what I need to do. The lighting is not that great either because, again, the extension cord, or I should say the power supply as well, is not that great from my dad's little house. It's a minimal little house with minimal electrical capacity. Yeah, very small electrical panel. So, I mean, I could run this 2 space heaters and some fancy lights that I got from my friend Roberto, but can't because of the low capacity. But anyway, we'll figure it out. Okay. Yeah, I'll figure it out. Yeah, because I'm going to be here for a while. I'm going to be napping up here in Vermont for the next few months at least. Yeah. And it's going to be cold. Yes, yes. But it's okay. As long as I dress appropriately for the weather. And I am dressed appropriately right now. And very soon I'm going to start sweating even though it's cold. Because this stuff is, even though it might look nice, I got a feeling it's a little bit snappy. Snappish and halfish, as I like to say. Yeah. Not supposed to take that much off. Not supposed to. Yeah, I gotta proceed with caution. Let's see. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff I need to work around. But anyway, I got some good flakes down there. In case this doesn't work out, I still got good flakes. You know, in case I don't make a good long point out of it. Let's see, where's my tape measure? I didn't bring it? Really? That never happens. Okay, where is it? See, this should be in this little box. See, I got everything in here, including wristbands, but no tape measure. Where did it go? I don't know. It probably knew that I wanted to use it, so it snuck out. Yeah. Snuck away from my box. I have that special box set aside just for items that I usually have trouble finding. Or I don't want to rummage around too much to go get them. But no. Okay. What else did I forget? I don't know. now I'm thinking, what else important did I forget? To pack in my special little bin. I don't know. So this so far is so good. It's so far so good. I think I'm going to leave this one thick so I don't have to redo the video. You know, if I break it, trying to get too fancy, I gotta redo the video. I don't have to delete it, but I gotta redo it. I gotta make another point. That was one of the last big pieces that I had. I brought it all the way up here because I wanted to nap it. Usually what I try to do is biface everything down before I transport these things long distances. Yeah, I like to spall them all down and get big flakes and throw away all the junk pieces that have lots of cortex and cracks in it and only take the good stuff with me. But no, I ran out of time. So I took a lot of these big old nodules. Well, I wish it was a lot. I took like a dozen of these around this size of various quality. Some are good, some are not. This is one of the better quality ones. Yeah, and I can heat treat now. Oh yes. When I was up here before, yeah, I wasn't able to heat treat. Now I can heat treat. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna heat treat some flakes that I brought with me, so I can have some really fancy stuff, hopefully. If not, I'll just break into the obsidian that I brought. And I brought a cold with me again. Still lingering. I figured by the time I got up here, that lingering cold would be gone. It's the second one I've had this season. I know why it is. My immune system got weakened by all the candies I was eating. Yeah. Too much sugar. You don't believe me? It's okay, you don't believe me. But yeah, sugar messes me up. Messes up my gut biome. When you're messing with your gut biome, it messes with your immune system and everything just goes south, so to speak. Yeah. So a coal that would normally be not a big deal lingers on for days. Yeah. Why was I eating candy? I know I shouldn't do it. It's because I stopped smoking cigars. So I got these cravings. But I'm back on it again. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a weird thing. But no, I'm reducing my cigar smoking quite a bit. But it was weird, yeah. I had become completely adjusted to the nicotine. And without it, I get cravings now. It could be anything. I could stuff my face with food or candy or whatever. Something, I guess, for the dopamine. I figured, well, I don't want to eat a whole plate of food, so just let me give it a couple of chunks of chocolate or something. So that's what I did. And all it takes is a little bit of chocolate every day to start you on the way to putting on a half a pound here, a quarter pound there. A little bit of weight here and there, and then all of a sudden your pants are feeling like, what? That's not the belt loop I'm normally using. Dang it. I'm supposed to use the same, tighten it to the same belt loop. Now I gotta loosen it up. Dang it. Yeah, it creeps up on you after several weeks. Anyways, I'm distracting myself a little bit, but I'm reaching the end of my nerves with the bopper. I don't want to start getting too nervous with this. I think that's as far as I'm going to go with the bopper. Yeah. So nice. It's got these weird little inclusions. If I can put that inside of a point, like make a point around that, that'd be awesome. If I don't break that, throwing it in the bucket. But yeah, I got good flakes. So if this doesn't work out, the flakes are good. Yeah, and I can heat treat this too. It makes it even better. Yeah. I keep bumping in the camera. Sorry about this. Wobbling like this, I bet you. I bet you. Some people are sensitive to that and they get vertigo and they go, I don't want to watch this no more. I feel like I'm on like a bolt. Yeah. Okay. I'll try not to hit the camera. I forgot how to use the camera. Yeah, that too. I got it too close to me. Yeah. A little bit too close. Just a little bit of just 1 inch can make a big difference when I'm doing stuff because I'm used to having it at a certain distance. Yeah. All right. What am I going to do? Oh, yes. Switch over to my favorite indirect percussion. Yep. Oh, dang. I did not dress my tools before I started. You mean the tools are naked? Yeah, the tools are naked. They're not dressed. I don't have too many people in that category that would have that mindset that that's the first thing they think of when I say it's not dressed. Yeah. Most of my audience is my age. Imagine that. It's funny how that works. Okay. They're not young. Most of my audience is not young. We're all just a bunch of gray-haired retirees and stuff. Mostly. Yes? Well, that's what the stats say. It's not mostly, it's just a lot. I think 30% of my viewers are actually retired. I'm not retired. Right? I just choose to try Try running a small business instead of going back to sitting behind a desk doing drafting all day. But I might not have a choice. We shall see. This little experiment, if it drags on too long, that I'm not going to make the same income as I was before. I might have to go back to drawing on the computer. Yep. In an air-conditioned space instead of having it be 22 degrees outside and what is it now? It's like 37 degrees in here. With the space heater, it raises it up surprisingly by a good amount. Still, it's not ideal. That was a good part about being a draftsman. Climate controlled environment. Oh yes. Well, a little bit too controlled because you just sit all day. Yeah. Sit all day. With very little muscle movement. Just clicking the mouse, mainly. Oh, dang. Okay. It's amazing that my wrist is in better shape now doing this kind of stuff than it was when I was clicking the mouse all day, just in one position, click, 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 click. Yeah. It's amazing how that's weird, how that works. Of course, I had to adjust. And I had to do exercises to make sure I have the muscle strength in my wrist so that I don't overdo it. Yeah, because I need to have that strength so that it doesn't cause any injury. Alright, where was I here? I'm trying to thin the ends down because that's the basic plan at this stage. Before I start thinning the middle, I could be more careful about grinding these edges. For those of you who are new, the question is, how careful do you have to be on these edges? Well, it depends. Yeah, actually it depends. It depends on what tool you're using, you know, and the stone. Sometimes the stone is forgiving and it doesn't need to be prepared that well to give you pretty good results. Sometimes the tool you are using is good material like copper or aluminum. In some cases it grabs the edge very well and it'll peel the flakes off quite nicely. So it depends. Now, if you're having trouble removing good flakes, it could be that you're not preparing the striking areas well enough. That one I thought was prepared well enough, but it crushed. So I gotta grind it even more. And I say striking area and not platform because it's never the same. The way I nap, the place I hit is never the same twice. I hit all kinds of areas. I never make it look the same. Mostly what it is just dull. I know that doesn't help. But that's just the way I nap. I nap in a very unhelpful way. And a lot of times, unless I'm explaining what I'm doing, people don't see what's going on very well. Yeah, because it's weird. I never prepare the platforms in the same way, and I never really go for the same kinds of flakes every time. I just go at it opportunistically. Yep. And I've been trying to figure out why. and trying to figure out if that's what the way they used to do it back in the day. I could say the jury is still out, but I'm finding many similarities to the expedient way of doing it and to the way the artifacts look. So I think a lot of the artifacts were made in expedient ways. So don't worry. You don't need to be perfect. And the edges don't need to be perfectly straight either. If you look at the artifacts, a lot of times the edges are not straight, and sometimes they're not even sharp. Why? They're not sharp. I think they used to keep them in a dull state until they actually needed them. Then they were sharpened, just before they needed them. I've been thinking about that. It makes sense to sharpen them only just before you need them, because with a dull edge, there's two things that's good for it. One, it doesn't cut through the bag that you've got it in if you just have a flake tool. And number two, it's stronger that way when they're dull. The edges are dull. They don't chip. You probably have to resharpen anyway. Let's say you put it really sharp in your sheath or your bag that you carry the tool with, and it gets dinged up a little bit, and you go, dang it, I just sharpened that. I just sharpened it, and look at it, it's all dinged. So I should have waited. So I think that's what they did. That's my little interpretation. Is it accurate? I have no idea. I've got maybe a little bit of an idea, because that's what I do. I mean, that's what happens to me. I used to carry little flakes and blades around with me when I first started napping, just so I can feel cool. Yeah, I got a stone blade in my pocket. Yep. And they would get messed up. Especially the tips would break off. So the best way to carry it in your pocket is with a rounded tip and not too sharp. You know, it doesn't cut through your pocket. You don't get little dings. And as long as you bring your Flintknapping pressure flaker with you, you can sharpen it when you need it. And you can only, sometimes you only need the tip of it to be sharp. You just sharpen that little area and then cut with it. Yeah. What was I, a modern man, doing with a stone blade? What was I using it for? Mainly, I was using it to cut open plastic. We used to receive pallets of equipment at my last job, and they would be wrapped with plastic, you know, shrink wrap plastic type stuff. And it was thick, stretchy plastic around these pallets of equipment and whatnot. And these guys would bring out their pocket knives and they'd be sawing at the plastic, and it wouldn't cut as good as the stone blade I was carrying, or a stone flake. I just go zip and it just zips it right open. Yep. What are you using? Nothing. No. What is that? Nothing. Yeah, but it's not a knife. What is it? It's a piece of rock. What? Yeah. It's a rock. It's a flake. And the crickets. You hear crickets? Like, what's going on? Have I taken crazy pills? That's what they're thinking. Yeah, you've taken crazy pills, so stop asking. Yeah. You asked, you know, it's gonna be like you're taking crazy pills if you ask questions. Just saying. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I found a stone cuts plastic extremely well, if it's sharp, which is not very difficult to do. You can even do that with indirect percussion. You can sharpen the edge just by tapping it. Yeah, and you get that little sweet spot in there. On the edge is a little sharp spot, and you go bzz, it zips it right open. Plastic, animal skin, tan leather. Yep. It's not that great on wood, but it's great on plastic and hides. Yeah, wood is a little bit of a different ballgame. You can actually knap with wood, so it's not that great when you want to try to cut it with a stone. You gotta saw into it. It's a little bit different technique. You find a sweet spot on your blade to cut wood, and that sweet spot is going to disappear in 5 seconds. You just wipe it right out. You gotta sit there and saw or chop the wood. Can't slice it. I've tried. The only wood that I can slice is the really soft wood that's green, like a willow or something. Then you can kind of slice it with a stone blade, but then the stone blade is useless after a few minutes. Yeah, I'm forgetting how to flint-knap because I'm getting short flakes. These terminations are not smooth. Not feathery, I mean. What am I doing? See, I'm getting these little step kind of terminations. They don't go all the way across. Or they don't go as far as I thought they were going to go. Yeah, they stop. So I'm losing some energy somewhere. And it's probably because I forgot how to do it. Yeah. How do you forget? There's got to be, there's subtle differences in the strength of the hit, the setting of the tip of the flaker onto the edge. Sometimes I'm too high, sometimes I'm too low. It's just a subtle, sometimes this angle is not, I'll have a brain fart and I won't be at the right angle, like I'll be too this way instead of that way. If I'm too this way, it causes that too. Because it's not, you're not hitting inward enough. That sort of thing. It could also be the stone. Alright, the stone does not want to cooperate. Sometimes it doesn't. Oh no. And you'll be scooping it. I've had that issue lately where I'm scooping out. And it's the subtle difference between heat treat stone and raw stone. This is high grade raw stone, don't get me wrong. But there's a subtle difference between this and heat treat. That causes these little scoop outs. Because I think it's not going to scoop it out. It normally doesn't scoop it out with that technique with heat treat. Yeah, like this, if it was a heat treat, it would have gone. It wouldn't have step fractured right there. Something held it up. I don't know what it was. And I don't want to hit it too hard. It's also a little bit brittle. Yeah, it's a little on the brittle side. And it might be the cold weather. I've got that question before. Does it affect it when it's cold? Because I think I don't want to nap when it's cold because napping is bad enough when it's hot. It could be. This stone was sitting out there in a 20-degree weather before I started napping on it. And I bet you it's still pretty cold. Let's see. It's been warmed up slightly. It doesn't feel like it's frozen or anything. My hands are not getting cold just by touching this. But it's possible that it could have a little bit of a difference. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. If I think it's acting up badly, guess what? That also affects the napping. Just thinking that it's not going to nap right will make it not nap right. And there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, it's a placebo effect. And the placebo effect can be in a good way or a bad way. Like if you're in a good mood and your napping turns out better than if you're in a bad mood. And it's the placebo effect because everything else is the same. You just, I guess your mind just works better when it's not all tangled up or stressed out or thinking bad thoughts. I don't know. Yeah, I know. It's obvious. It's obvious that you won't do well when your mental state is poor. But I've napped when I'm angry or upset, and I still made some nice stuff. So. Yeah. But I think it does affect it. I think your mood can affect the outcome in general. You know what? I think wearing the glove on this hand, holding the mallet, reduces the feedback I get from these strikes. Yeah, I think I can get cleaner flakes if I can feel what the stone is doing. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Who knows? Yeah, I think I can get better results with not having the glove on this hand. And same with this one, but I don't want to be without gloves anymore. I've learned my lesson. I used to not wear gloves, and I used to try to wrap my fingers with tape and try different things to prevent cuts. Because I wanted to have more of a feeling of what the stone was doing. And of course I'd go without gloves sometimes. And yeah, the results are okay, but it's not worth it. I'd rather have results that are not that great. Voila. Then, risk cutting myself and be out of the game for a few days. Yeah. Some guys say, no, I nap even though I'm all cut up. What's the problem? I'm all cut up, but I still nap. What's the problem? Yeah. Yeah, I've done that too. But it's your attitude starts to suffer. Get irritable. Yeah, you're trying to plan out a flake and you're thinking about your sore finger. You mean you plan the flakes? They're planned and controlled? I thought you said they were not. I know, people pick up on these things. The short answer is, you try to plan the flake, but things like that happen. Okay? This is not planned. This little thing right there. Some people call that a lipped flake, because it's got a little lip right there. Little lip sticking out right there. And it's got a ring crack. I think, man, that's a special tool that does that. No, it's a mistake, okay? It's like a reverse overshot. It's a mistake. I didn't want to do that. No. I didn't. It's a bummer. Because there was already an incipient crack there, so I'm going to lose that anyway in this case. But if it was a beautiful edge and I did that, it would be a bummer, because then I got to take back the rest of that edge and lose width that I might not have wanted to lose. In fact, I don't want it to lose. I want to have my options open and not having to be too narrow too fast. Yeah, there's some incipient stuff going on there. That's not good. Incipient cracks are stuff that you install that are not supposed to be there. Yeah. That's another mistake. You know, these little cracks that you install when they're not supposed to be there, you don't really see them in some cases. They're the result of weird things along the edge. Some might say it's because you didn't prepare it. You're not preparing it, so you get a lot of incipients. You're so dumb. Yeah, well, I'm dumb, but I'm willing to put up with some incipients if I don't have to be nitpicky every step of the way and be persnickety. It drives me nuts to be persnickety every step of the way. Yeah. Okay. You've heard me say that over and over. If you've watched the channel a bunch of times, a bunch of videos, you know. And I just hooked up my computer today. Finally got it hooked up. Now that I'm here. Well, whenever I can hook it up to some good Wi-Fi or whatever. I have a little desk. I'll hook up my computer. You know. Anyway, I saw that I had 1,800 and something videos, and I looked at, well, my count, my view, my video counter, it only says 1,766. So how do I have 1,800 and some odd? And I said, yeah, well, not all my videos are labeled with numbers, like my auction videos are not. Yeah. And I think there's some other ones I forgot to put numbers on or whatever. Yeah, I didn't. Oh, well, I haven't been numbering my auction videos with the same kind of numbering system because they get mixed up with the normal videos. And one of my subscribers that always watches the channel, and he pointed that out. He says it gets mixed up between the non-auction videos. When I'm trying to search a video, it pulls up an auction video, and I don't see the one I want. What's up? I said, okay, well, I won't number the auction videos. Yeah, in the same way. I won't do them in the same way. Okay. And all this time, there's someone in the back going, "What's that auction video? What's the auction video? What is it?" Yeah, you've been absent on Mondays. You've been watching the channel, but you've been absent on Mondays. I have an auction every Monday. So don't be absent on Monday. You can see. Yeah, they're on this channel. How can I have auctions on this channel? It's not eBay. YouTube is not eBay. No, it's not really set up for that sort of thing, but I do it in the comment section. You bid in the comment section. Yeah. That's how it works. That's how I try to make it work. It's not really set up for that kind of thing because it's hard to keep track of who bid when, especially when they're bidding at the last minute. But anyway, it works out okay. Yeah, I don't have issues with people being all crazy on the auction. Yeah. Okay, so what am I going to do here? I wanted to measure it, but I don't have my tape measure. I want to measure the width to thickness ratio, the overall length, and all that good stuff. Yeah. Anyway, I told my dad I'll be out here for a little while, making videos. I'm taking care of him now. He's having a hard time moving around and stuff. And I just went through and reorganized all his medications because he got released from the medical center the day that I arrived, and they rearranged his medicine schedule. So I learned that today. I said I'm gonna be out back later on. You know where I'll be. Where I was the last 3 hours trying to get my stuff unloaded from my van into the shed. So I can set up a napping zone. Yeah. And he goes, oh, okay. Alright. I said, you know where I'll be. He's sneaking out back to film a video in the snow in a little plastic shed. I think it's a 7x7. It's smaller than my other shop. I'm not complaining though, because this heats up better. The smaller the space, the easier it is to heat up. And let's see, what temperature is it? It's still about 38, 37 degrees. Better than 20 degrees. But anyway, the smaller the shop area, the easier it is for that space heater to heat it up. Yeah, my other shop was like a, I don't know, what was it? It was a 7.5 by 8.5 or something. This one looks like it's a 7x7. Right. I think so. It might be 8x8, but it doesn't seem that big. Anyways, I'll measure it if I find my tape measure. Yeah. I'm always measuring everything. If I can find my tape measure. It's just a habit. Yeah. Have hazards of the profession. I had to put dimensions on everything. That was my job. One of the aspects of my job as a draftsman is to put a measurement on everything. You can't have something without a measurement. No. First thing they notice, hey, there's some kind of little dimension on it. The first thing they see. They don't draft. They don't know how to do the drafting software, but right away they know it don't have no dimension. How did you spot that so fast? I looked at that drawing 10 times and I didn't notice that. It's obvious. Okay, fine. I don't know if it's the ADD. I'm gonna blame it on ADD that I didn't notice these obvious things. I'm looking right at it 10 times. No, I didn't see it. Did not see it. How can I be a draftsman with ADD? You have to double check and triple check and quadruple check. And always bring a calculator. Yep, because you can't depend on your brain for that stuff. I was a double checking, triple checking fool. It bordered on obsessive compulsive. But it's better to do it and not depend on your brain too much than to, you think your brain's working really good and you miss a spot because you didn't double check and triple check. Yeah. So I did all right. I didn't want to be absolutely perfect, because you know how that works. Once you start trying to get perfect, 99% of your effort goes into the last 10% of what you're doing, and that's a bummer. 99% of your work goes into the last 10% if you want to get 100% correct. So you just have someone else check it. You get a little system going. Can you check this? I'll check yours if you check mine. It sounds funny. But yeah. Checked each other's work. Yeah. Same goes in Flintknapping too. You show it to some other guy, another Flintknapper. Here, how do you think? Oh, that was a bad area right there. What happened there? I said, that didn't look too bad to me. It didn't look too bad to me because I was having trouble, right? But he doesn't know that. He just says, it's a lump. I mean, if he's being honest, you know, a lot of times we as flint nappers, we know the struggles. We go, that looks pretty good, man. Dude, that's good. Yeah, we don't want to say nothing. But some people right away, there's a lump right there. Yeah. Or it's crooked. It's crooked, man. You got one side pretty straight, but the other side got crooked. No, we don't talk like that with each other. Most of the time, it's like, cool, man. Very rarely do we criticize each other's work, but we're supposed to. Yeah, supposed to be checking. Sometimes you don't see. Sometimes you don't see what you need to be seeing. Like you say, does this look like a artifact? I mean, did I do it like looks like they did it back in the day? And everyone's gonna say, yeah, man, looks pretty good. When they should be saying, well, I don't think I've seen it like that in the old days. Like perfectly straight edges, or extremely thin tips. I don't think I've seen it that way. I'm just jealous. No, but seriously, I'm just jealous. They weren't that thin on the tip, I'm telling you, and they weren't that straight. Yeah. Anyways, it's so quiet out here in this neighborhood, up here in Vermont. I mean, there's no ambient background noise. Like when I was living in Texas, I was in the oil field, right in smack dab in the middle of oil country, and you could hear the ambient noise in the background. Trucks and engines and I don't know what humming in the background constantly. Here, there's nothing. And I can hear, right now, I can hear someone going up and down steps. One of the neighbors. I don't know if it's inside the house or outside the house. Sounds like they're going up and down steps or stairs. I can hear that through the walls of this little shed. Luckily, there's nobody arguing or anything. I've had videos before here at my dad's house. It's funny. We've had neighbors that get into arguments, so I can hear it on video. Yeah. It's a goldfish bowl out here. Anyway. I like it though. I like it. I like the Victorian architecture and the artsy culture out here. This is an artsy fartsy little town. Yeah. And of course the scenery is fantastic. Forest. There's a river right there down the street. We don't live on the river, but we're right down the street from it. I can just walk down there like I did today. And there I am, right on the river. Yep. And right now, the river level is not that high, but very soon when all the snow starts to melt, the river gets very high and starts flowing fast. It's all exciting and dynamic. Yeah, I forgot to check to see if there were ice fishing. I don't think there is right now because it's been too warm. But sometimes you'll see the ice fishermen out there. It's been too warm. I don't think the ice is thick enough. Yeah, I think we had an El Nino effect recently, where it's warmer in some areas and colder in other areas, and the weather is weird. Yeah. Or I should say colder than normal in some areas and warmer than normal in other areas. Like here, I think it was warmer than normal, and I don't see much ice on the river when I went down there. In fact, I didn't see any ice. From where I was below the dam, above the dam where the water level is constant. I think there may have been some thick ice. I didn't look up there. I didn't look over onto the other side. I'll do that tomorrow. Remind me. Yeah. I think it's cool looking out there and seeing the ice fishermen. Yeah. Okay. I gotta focus on this. Because I'm trying to get through that spot that you guys noticed already is lumpy, and I don't know if it's because of the material is tough there, or I'm just not preparing well enough. I'm taking too many shortcuts. Where's my files? I forgot I got files. And I forgot to split this up into 30-minute segments, but oh well. Yeah, if I use a file on this, it creates such a nice dull edge. Yeah, it makes solid contact with the tool. Yeah, when you have a dull edge, you can get a solid contact with the tool tip, and it'll peel off, supposedly, a nice flake. Let's do this proper. I gotta get the tool tip dressed because it's all naked. Yep. What? Don't worry, this video is not made for kids. Silly rabbit. This video is not for kids. I gotta specify that with every video. Although I don't think it comes up anymore. Used to be I had to specify that for every video. Now there's a default that, you know, none of my stuff's made for kids, so it just comes up that way. I don't have to specify it. Yeah, so you kids with your fancy VPNs or whatever, watching this, it's past your bedtime. Yeah. You don't get to see them voila moments, okay? You don't get to. Nope. Yeah, you gotta wait till you're retired. Gosh, it's a long time to wait. You kids aren't flintnapping anyway. You're just watching. Just watching because someone at school mentioned that the cavemen used to nap. What is the nap? What? Cavemen, you know. Neanderthals making stone tools. What is that? Making stone tools. You can make a screwdriver out of a rock. Oh, they didn't have screwdrivers, dingbat. Talking about weapons. Weapons of mass destruction. Yeah. You can damage a lot of stuff with the stone projectile points. Yeah. Oh yes. They used to make hundreds of these. Hundreds of stone projectile points, and then just fling the projectiles. Yep. Fling them. And in some cases, whoever drew first blood is the one that won the little conflict, and you know they would take their wounded guy or dead guy and retreat. That was it. Some cultures, that's all they needed. They fight until someone loses their life, and then they retreat. And then they go later on, you kill one of our guys, so we need to fight again so we can kill one of yours. Yeah. And there it goes. On and on and on. Right, kids? Anyways. And there's a lot of people that would say, no, the stone tools are made for gathering food. Why are you always talking about fighting? Yeah. I think most of these were made for fighting. Yeah. That's just my opinion. And my opinion doesn't have any weight, okay? I'm not saying that because I think my opinion is so great. In my opinion, most of these fancy stone tools were made for fighting. Because they're not necessary for hunting. In fact, some animals are so dumb they get used to you and they walk right up to you. So what do? You can bang them over the head with a club or something. I don't know. Set a trap. You know, stuff we can't do these days because it's not legal. You can set a trap for a deer and the little dum-dums will go in the trap and get caught. You don't need to shoot a nice fancy projectile like this at it. No. The human, you try to catch a human in a trap, and they're likely to put a dummy human in the trap, so you think you caught someone, you run up over there and they shoot you. They ambush you with a dummy in the trap because you think, oh, I caught somebody. No. Human will put a dummy. That's how smart humans are. They'll put a dummy in the trap and think you got, you'll think you got somebody. And they'll ambush you. Yeah. Animals can't think of that. So you go, man, traps don't work on humans, dude. Don't you know? You gotta shoot them. Unfortunately, that's the way it works. Not that I like it. Alright, did it do it? Let's see what it did. I think it did it. That was that whole flake just for this one spot right there. See that one spot that I didn't like? Voila. I got it. But it took off a lot of material. Which, fortunately, it didn't mess it up. Sometimes it'll scoop out too much and leave a depression in the middle, and then it won't look that great. Yeah. All right. So what am I gonna do now that it's I got my moment, and I'm not gonna bother with making it perfect up here. I'm just gonna have to notch it somehow. Yeah, I'm just gonna notch it and then be done. Not push my luck. Oh, I do have my book. Hold on a second. Yes, I do have my book. All right, hold on. Hold on for station identification. We're gonna look at this Overstreet. Now, I don't want to do one of these, okay? I don't do these hardens or whatever. Yeah, although I could, right? Yeah, no, I don't want to do a harden. This is Texas chert, okay? So just cool your jets or whatever they call it. All right, so South Central. Ooh, I like the Cache River. Yeah. But then I gotta make the base concave. And besides, this is too big for that. Yeah. All right, so what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I don't know. You saw what book this was, right? You're not screaming back there. Show us the book. You didn't show it right. You didn't show it. Okay, fine. This one is the 13th edition. Okay, it's an old one. You can get these for cheaper than the new ones. I think it's up to the 15th edition, okay? It's the 13th. Yeah, I could make one of those. Yeah. I don't know. I've made a bunch of corner things in my lifetime. Ooh, a Dalton. Super serrated. Fancy Dalton. Yeah, let's do one of these fancy Daltons. No. What is this? This is a Dalton Hemp Hill. Those are cool. This one is Midwestern to Eastern States. I could do one. It's just all pressure flaking down there. I've already got the blade. There's a lot of, you know, pressure flaking along the edges, or little minute percussion flakes. Don't quote me. That's pressure. It could be little minute percussion flakes. So I would do the base all with pressure, and the stem all with pressure. But you never know. Some of these are percussion flakes, like that one. Anyway, I'm delaying this. Why am I delaying this? Because I don't know. I've made a lot of these different points, and I just get flustered. What am I going to make this time? I don't even plan on doing anything spectacular. Just want to get it thin without breaking it. And then I got to decide, okay, what is it going to be? I do like the San Jacinto. Yeah. I do like it. I already did it, though. There's one that I keep getting a request. Well, I got it requested, and I keep forgetting to do it. But that one that I'm going to do is a paleo style or a transitional paleo that's got one rounded side and one flat side. It's a plain old convex, and I cannot remember the name of it. For the life of me, I cannot remember the name of that point. All right. But I am going to do it. I just keep forgetting. You guys that don't have this book, you don't know what you're missing. You don't know. Not that I think it's all that great, because there's no side views. You don't see thicknesses. But, you know, it comes in handy. Especially when you ain't got no ideas. What am I going to make? I need some ideas. Some of you might say, don't make nothing. Just sell it like that. Yeah. What is this? This one is a... It doesn't have the name. What is this? Everything has a name. But this one doesn't have a name. What is it? It doesn't have a name. I'm going to complain. Page 1119 doesn't have a name. Dang it. Doesn't even say down in here what it is. So I was going to make it, but since it don't have no name, forget it. It's probably a McCorkle. I don't know. Okay, it says Oxbow. On the front here it says Oxbow continued. So that's what it is. It's Oxbow. I figured it out. Still, it made me work too hard for it, so I'm not going to do it. Yeah. Nothing is striking my fancy. Oh, these are nice. The Elko eared, yeah, they're some of my favorite. Yeah. Alrighty, what am I gonna do? Look at all these obsidian points. Dang it. Okay, I'm gonna do an obsidian point here this week, but not yet. Not today. So I'm back to square one. What am I gonna do? Nothing. I'm just gonna pressure flake it and that's it. It's already an hour. Okay? That's it. I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm not going to notch it. You've been waiting all this time for notches and I'm not going to do it. That's the way it goes in the Flintknapping world. Yeah. It's always drama. There's always some drama. I make it more difficult. You know, you're going to be disappointed. Okay. All right, let's see if we can get this lighting. I got some good lighting too. I just need to get a better extension cord and maybe beef up the little breaker in the breaker panel. I think it's got a bunch of just 30 amp breakers. I might need to put a bigger one in there. I don't know. Not gonna mess with it. I want to nap in the daylight. Use some natural light. How's that? I just seem to be able to get everything done better if I do the napping at night after dark. You know, get my tasks completed. I have what they call executive dysfunction. Something blocks me from doing a task if something's not right, or if I don't feel like it. Yeah, it's a bummer. But it's less at night, because I've already done a bunch of stuff during the day that's not bugging me. I can't be doing napping right now, as an example. I can't be doing napping right now because I haven't gotten and bought dinner stuff for dinner yet, or something like that. Something's always needing to be done that's on my brain. Store's gonna close. I need to go buy something, or I'm losing daylight. I need to do something else that requires daylight. I need to do that first, even though it's a low priority. As far as importance, I'm losing the daylight, so I gotta go do it. Yeah. Just a stupid little errand, but I need daylight to do it. So there you go. There's not very many things that you need darkness to do it. But daylight, yes. You might say, oh, I always go hunting in nighttime. Varmints. Okay, fine. You weirdo varmint hunters. Yeah, I know. You wait to do that stuff at night. I know. Should be Flintknapping. Set up traps for them varmints. Yeah. That's what the human mind was for anyway. Setting up traps for these little varmints. Yeah. I think the human brain developed more from setting traps than from doing this kind of stuff. This Flintknapping stuff is a very specialized skill. It doesn't encompass a lot of different skills together, like trapping. Especially if you're trying to trap without modern equipment. And using stone tools to create your traps. There's a lot of stuff involved. It's not just a specialized skill in one area. Like, this is a specialized skill in how to flake stone so it becomes thin and sharp. It's highly specialized. The object is to flake the stone until it becomes thin and sharp. Yeah. And haftable in many cases. Not all cases. It doesn't always have to be haftable. But in many cases, points are designed around their haftability. They have to be hafted. They have to be hafted. So there is some, you know, range in the skill, because you do have to figure out how to haft it. But for the most part, it's all about thinning and sharpening it. The hafting area is an afterthought in many cases. In a lot of cases, they borrowed that technology from other tribes and groups. The hafting was a meme. The technology for hafting it to a stick was a meme, and those technological ideas become memes and they travel between groups. You tie it to a stick that way? Really? Wait a second, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's the way we tie it to sticks. What do you do? Oh, nothing. No, no, no. How do you do it? We had lame notches. Really? What's a notches? Never mind, dude. It was lame. I like your way better. No notches. You don't know how many times I had a temper tantrum because my notches were not right. Yeah, it's not worth it. I think in some cases the notches were not worth it. Now, if you have lame glue to hold a point on, nobody in my tribe knows how to make good glue, man. Gotta put notches in it to make sure we get a nice solid heft. Because the glue is bad. It's lame. Really? Yeah. Lame. So we gotta make up for it somehow. Put the stupid notches in. Yeah, but notches are cool. So, you know, they had discussions. How are we gonna have this one? I don't know. What does the smartest guy in the tribe say about hafting? How do we do it? How are we supposed to be doing it? Yeah. So that's what they do. A lot of times it doesn't do any good unless it's on the end of a stick. So you got to figure out how to put it on the end of a stick. And there's many different ways to do that. Many of the blades are identical among different artifacts. The only thing that's different is the hafting area. And that's what distinguishes it from other points, in many cases, in the archaeological record. The archaeologists love to classify these things according to how their stems look. Sometimes they classify them according to how the blades look. And I think that is not quite a good idea. Not quite. It can be. I think sometimes you can determine a point style by the blade shape. But I think, for the most part, it's the hafting area that determines the point style. But you have to keep in mind also there's variations in the hafting area, even with the same point style. So a point style is not always just because it looks identical. There has to be a general goal. And sometimes that general goal is met with different variations in the hafting. But it's still the same point because you're still trying to achieve the same goal. Like they're trying to haft it to a spear, a handheld spear, or something particular. A long range atlatl dart. Why long range? I don't know. Maybe their type of warfare is long range projectile shooting. Who knows? Or the way they hunt is long range projectile shooting. So they want to make sure that their points are lightweight and thin with a good strong hafting area. That way they can launch them really far. And when they get there, they're not going to be all, weak in the haft. That sort of thing. Okay. I just need to sharpen this. I'll stop thinking about other stuff. Yeah, I'm just trying to pick off the dull spots. And sometimes I'll see a step fracture that I need to remove because it would look better without the step fracture sitting there. Not that it really makes it any sharper to not have the step fracture. It just looks a little bit better, aesthetically speaking. Yeah. And who knows, they might have thought it was good luck to have an aesthetically good looking piece. Maybe it was all just because of their superstition surrounding the look of the piece. If it looks good, it'll work good. Yeah. Okay. I'll stop messing with it, because if I mess with it too much, you know what happens. I always get these kind of things near the tip. Right? I'm going to try to mess with that a little bit. You see, there's none on that side, but there's one on that side. I'll try to mess with it a little bit, and if it doesn't work, I'm just going to leave it. Yeah. I'm going to try to run a flake across. Clean that up. It's not necessary for the function of the point. It's just aesthetic. That one didn't reach. Let's try that. Let's try it one more time. Oh, that almost reached. Can I try one more time? It's not dull enough. Oh, almost got it. It's almost perfect. Okay. What am I doing? I'm just trying to get some symmetry, right? Sometimes it's too jaggedy, but I'm just going to leave it. Yeah. You can put the notches in. It'll be available in the auction. Yeah. It was actually very nice material to work with. Yeah, even though sometimes it got a little bit crunchy. Sometimes the terminations were a little bit steppy. It's still, I like it. I like it. Yeah. I'm not going to mess with trying to clean it up, make it too perfect. Okay. There it is. First point in Vermont. Yes. I like it. But this is one of the largest pieces I have. The other stuff's going to start getting smaller. Yeah. All right, so there you go. That's it.